Asian gamers using... Oh, right. He is using ether to kill. Apparently, ether gets rid of him. Siege. And that fire rod, also like using that sword as well. Oh. Fit crystal of the map. For a G.
Are going to lose the opening part there of going for that big chest. They're going to way around to get back to it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, and there's the ice rod inside of Misery Myers. Now, where everything is, it's just a matter of GTG is probably going to be thinking, all right, hookshot's probably on Trinex if it's not over here. So, unfortunately, probably head back up the mountain and realize, oh no, that hookshot is somewhere else in the world.
Yeah, and it's going to be a real slow check as well. As AG finds the big key there, just 3 bombs in checkerboard K. Thanks for your patience. Apparently his stream seems to be back up. So for those of you who were not able to see, GTG did get the ice rod out of the big chest in Misery Mire. Also found the shovel as the other item. And that just dug up 3 bombs.
Oh, a little bit of frustration slashes there. Headed, after doing that check, headed back up the mountain thinking, man, where is that hookshot?
Yeah, he has to be thinking it's Trinex. He's not put together that hammer pegs to play. And this is Ancient Gamer's genius really paying off, because he's about to find the second item very shortly in Skull Woods, and then he'll be out. He just has Meyer and T-Rock to go. With all 3 medallions, he's almost certainly going to do Meyer. Oh no, he's going to have to write the required double dip. So he's going to have to go to T-Rock to get the flute, to go to Meyer to get the ice rod.
Right, and that double dip, that's kind of going to be, I think, GTG's saving grace. You know, this was heavily favored to Ancient Gamer for a good bit in my mind, but, you know, with that required full, you know, drop into TR, that's going to kind of even things out a little bit, as GTG will just be able to run straight through TR. It's not the shortest dungeon, obviously, running through it.
Going through it in effectively go mode, because he's not going to be opening any chests, is almost exactly the same as doing it having to check everything. He's only going to gain very little time on this.
I'm just trying to think here for for GTG's sake, and even Ancient Gamer's got to be realizing that TR has to be the play. Now, I don't think Ancient Gamer has done these Northern Dark World checks, which is what we're going to see now, and by that I mean the Graveyard Ledge.
He did Graveyard Ledge. He did Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, I believe. Oh,
he just did King's Tomb.
Ledge.
The other one we haven't seen from him is the Catfish play, because that is where we found the silver arrows on GTG's side.
Yeah. And the hookshot is going to be required for GTG to get through Swamp. So he is going to have to do that no matter how good he is at hovering. So was Ice Chest or Ice Rod at Misery Mire Big Chest, where we found, was that maybe GTG's other plant? Doesn't seem that likely.
It's very it's a weird place to plant it, but obviously we'll have to confirm all this when we talk to our runners in chat after this race concludes.
And it does look like AG is making that check with Catfish, going to be very happy when he finds.
But I think we do have, or we finally have come to the point where, once GTG gets through Trinex and realizes there's no hook here, I'm not really sure if there's any overworld checks that are left that don't require the hookshot, meaning if he can remember, oh yeah, hammer peg game, then he'll be in go mode.
Yeah, that is definitely the thing, because he won't have access to double-chested fairy either.
All right, and AG has headed to the Grumpy Fish in Dark World and will be rewarded with those silver arrows.
You're welcome, AG. With both our runners having pulled it, we can confirm that the Catfish having silver arrows was the commentator's pick.
Yeah, our staff decided on that one, and not something you always see checked in Catfish, but with progression being elsewhere. But in this case, both of our runners had to do that. This is about to be, I know we talked about it being all dungeons, but this is about to be a full hundo. Like, we're going to have almost everything in the overworld checked that we can. Just the only things not checked would probably be Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's pretty... The Pyramid Fairy, the only overworld location not checked. As a GTG, I'm assuming is going to have to figure this out. AG going to make this Spike Cave play to no avail.
All right, so GTG mirroring out from TR area now. We'll have to see if he remembers where to go or has any ideas. We may see a little bit of thinking time. No, headed directly to Kakariko. I think it's dawned on him finally, saying, oh crap, I have left one location.
Yeah, that appears to be the case. But AG is going to have to mirror back to the Light World and then do another save quit to get to the mountain. Oh, GTG never checked C-shaped hut either. In all the hullabaloo, we'd forgotten about that.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right.
He does remember hammer pegs is another thing he missed, and yes, he does.
All right, so we may see a little rage slashing when this happens. I'm pretty sure in his mind he knows that this is where a hookshot is, only because we've basically done literally.
Unfortunately, there wasn't what here. So GTG now at 1 hour 56 minutes is in go mode. And AG is going to be checking Ether here before heading into TR. And he's going to have to do a full run of TR, a full clear of Misery Mire, and go back to TR to clear it again. Whereas GTG only has to do go mode Swamp. So a big lead now for a GTG.
Yeah, it's not very often you see, and I know this is Plando, but to say that a runner has hit go mode at 1 hour 50 plus minutes, absolutely incredible here.
And so a very good sequence of plays by AG. Unfortunately, it did not pan out. I'm really not sure what really you could label as his downfall. It's not like he did anything wrong. It's not like he got screwed over on these checks. It's not even like he's taken a death. Both of these runs have been deathless.
Yeah, both runners putting on a great show here. And a reminder to give both of these runners a follow. They would probably greatly appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. And Pop Bell pointing out that GTG was able to do all of this in one shot a while ago because of that earlier Ice Palace play. Probably was the part that gave him the lead that he did.
All right, so GTG headed to the back of Swamp. And we had a question in chat about when that 10 p.m. Eastern race will be happening. And yes, that is going to be happening on the Game Racing Channel 0. That is our NSFW channel. So the words may be a little more to the adult audience, but we do encourage you to give that channel a follow as well and be tuned in for that 10 p.m. race.
Also, if you are at work during that race, because it is not safe for work, please don't stream it on your phone. We'll know.
All right, so GTG headed into Argus now. That Buttersword's going to make quick work of these puffs, just as it did for Ancient Gamer.
Almost gets the 0 cycle there, too. Having a little bit of trouble with this Silver Arrow Snipe, but eventually gets it.
Yeah, that horizontal angle is always one to be a tricky one with Argus. But one thing to note, so one place that GTG is going to be saving a good bit of time is the fact that he's not going to be backtracking back into Swamp Palace to get that Ether Medallion, and it'll only be like a double dip instead of a triple, as we saw from Ancient Gamer.
I mean, in fairness, that was, what, 30, 45 seconds?
Yeah, it's a very small amount of time. Those small things like that, they do add up over time throughout a run, unfortunately. You know, if we analyze this with a fine-tooth comb, we could probably easily see where GTG has, you know, made up some time, if you want to call it that, on Ancient Gamer. But both of the runners, like I said earlier, have put on a great show so far. And it's not over yet. I mean, we've got red mail on both runners' side, but, you know, it is heavily favored towards GTG right now. But unless we could have some crazy execution blunder. We'll see how Ganon's Tower plays out for him as well.
Ganon falls happen.
And, you know, we don't really know what placements our runners had. So the GT Big Key, you are allowed to place a key in a normal mode. It just has to be within the dungeon, so it stays within logic. So we could see a scenario where, we could see Ancient Gamer place the big key somewhere. Not sure if that's the case, but if they did, they'll know exactly where to go to, and GTG may have to check quite a bit of GT and lose a little more time here.
Uh, we are operating under the assumption that AG's picks, again, we do not know. We only know the staff pick and Wesker's audience pick. We are assuming the gamers that AG picked these spots for hammer and hookshot. But if it's possible that that hookshot was just randomly in hammer pegs, then yeah, he could have had another placement left here. GTG going full left side though. Also, a little bit late, but there are 21 chests where the big key can be. We're already past 3 and going 4 through 7. Where do you hope to find it?
I'm gonna hope they find it in the firebar room.
Okay, I normally call chest number 5, so I'm already out. But, ooh, interesting. Just did the Stalfos room and then going right side. This is.
It looks like we got a bit of a dark magician. It looks like we got a bit of a dark magician style route going, as they call it. Checking those first few on the left, but now we're going full right potentially. We may see the play down into Armos as well.
Huh.
Ooh, actually making the tile room gamble.
Very interesting. Did GTG put this in tile room? And if so, he clearly does not know the cape glitch. If you don the cape and then pull against a wall, you will have the invincibility of the cape, but you will not drain your magic meter at all. So AG has his flute, and now he's going to get the sad news that he's going to have to use it if he wants to get that ice rod. And if he's been paying attention, he knows that that last chest is the key.
All right, so nothing in tile room, so that gamble not paying off. This is probably why we didn't see that cape trick, I would assume. We're going to need quite a bit of fire rod magic here, and I know there is that full pot that we just saw, but...
Well, I mean, if you do the cape trick, then you don't use your magic meter at all, is the thing.
Yeah, maybe an oversight or erring on the side of caution, since it does use just a very little bit at the beginning when you engage it.
So a heart container, the compass, bombs, and another heart container. So it's not on this Dark Magician right side. It looks like he's just gonna get a key and go through the. That may have been just a hedge on right side, like you gamble or gamble full right, then go the rest of it. Definitely going to be something to ask about.
Very surprised, honestly, that we didn't see the full right side play from GTG down to the Ice Armos.
And just a reminder for everyone in chat, all of these picks that are being made for the Plandomizer are being done completely blind of all the other picks. So when we made our commentators, yes, we did not know what the runners put, and we did not. And when our audience member Wesker made his pick, he had no knowledge of any of the other picks that were being made. So AG going to dump those bees and load up on some potions. And you've got 1,200 rupees, you might as well. And still nothing as we are heading into the randomizer room. Aptly named because outside of a randomizer setting, you never see what's in this room.
All right, so 4 checks in here, and then we've just got Ice Armos and Bob's chest.
There's the net. 300 rupees. There's the big key.
So now we are on our way up GT at 2 hours and 6 minutes.
And GTG, again, with Butter Sword, Red Mail, and Silver Arrows should just be flying through this part of the race.
Yeah, this gauntlet should be pretty straightforward. Looks like AG is taking a moment to pause, not sure why.
It might have been some IRL issue that needed to be addressed. As GTG heading into the gauntlet, combination of Fire Rod and that Butter Sword going to be the quickest way to make his way through. And I believe he still has at least one green potion that he can use to refill his magic if he feels it prudent. And pulling out the silver arrows to set up a quick kill on Landmo 2.
Oh, I got so worried for a minute. He had the silver arrows out, but the screen went to black because he hit the map button. I thought he accidentally had the mirror out and mirrored back to the beginning of GT.
Thankfully, I knew that wasn't the case. I was a little curious what was going on, but I knew it wasn't that at least. So now into the triple Wizrobe room, takes care of that with ease. This room with 4 Wizrobes is an actually tough one cycle to hit. Never mind, he got it free.
Yeah, very nicely done by GTG. Doing a very good job with the execution here.
And then AG going through, flipping that crystal switch, a bit of a different place to normally see that. And just enough magic to get those fire rod shots off. And with everything he has, no point in checking any of the rest of these chests for GTG. At worst, he's going to powder these anti-fairies.
All right, so we've just got a Moldorm 2 fight and an Aga 2 fight before the Big Pig.
As Ancient Gamers has picked up his Ice Rod, he is in go mode now at 210. And just 10 arrows in Moldorm's last possessions.
All right, here we go. GTG has made it to Aga 2.
The geometry lesson from Heck, because this is the WorkSafe channel.
Just a 1 and then a 0 in cycle 2. Getting a little out of sync.
Not getting good spawns from the Aghanim clones. Yeah, now they're almost completely desynced. Gets a double there, though.
And there we go. That's that 6th hit. And down goes Aga 2 for GTG.
It was a 5 cycle, I believe. 10122. And so going into this Ganon fight, no safeties outside of a green potion for GTG. Doing a little bit of swag hovering across the pit. Very nice as he drops down into the Ganon fight. I am not sure what that quote is from. I'm sure someone more cultured than I will be sure to tell me where it is.
All right, so with Buttersword, Ganon melts really quickly. Just 6 swipes in phase 1, with which we've already seen. We're already here in phase 3. Still gonna just need 4 swipes once per, I guess, jump cycle, if you want to call it that. And then we'll just see how many cycles or swipes it takes to land 4 silver arrows into the big pig.
And going to be interesting, is GTG going to go for Torch Glitch, or is he going to go for the triple setup? He is going for this triple.
Ooh, got really close.
I think he's got it. 1, 2, 3. That is
very
beautiful.
Done.
So Ancient Gamers has his sick crystal, but is going to be too little too late. And get your GGs in chat for SAGTG with a time on stream of 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 8 seconds. AG just has a Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower to go, so he'll probably play this out.
And in the meantime, while he's headed up, we'll see if we can get GTG in to do it.
Yes, I am very curious as to the second item placement he made. And with that, we have our winner, SAGT. How was that?
Oh, what the heck was that?
That was something else. The fact that we were a little suspicious at the very beginning, seeing 3 pendants hanging out in Light World. I have to ask, is that anything you by chance knew about?
Yes, I put the Moon Pearl on the pedestal.
Wow, that's that's quite the play. I guess it does work. You get a decent amount of progression into Light World. Do you want to share with us in chat what your second pick was? I'm kind of at a loss of trying to figure out exactly where that one was.
I have a couple vague ideas, but I could easily be really wrong. So go ahead. What do you have?
The Fire Rod and Cold Stir was my doing this time.
Oh, okay, yeah. Pulling that back out from the exhibition match that you had about a week or so ago, right?
Yeah, I kind of figured in all my races so far, I've been messing with GT every time, and I didn't want to be too predictable, so I thought now's a good time to mix it up a little.
Okay, so as for the other picks, you have our audience member, HCF Wesker, to thank/blame for that Turtle Rock double dip. He's the one who stuck the flute in Laser Bridge.
So it was just by coincidence that the Ice Rod was behind it?
Yes, actually.
Wow. I thought maybe that was a power move by Ancient Gamer, so that they would know for sure it was a double dip or something. I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything. Obviously, we haven't talked to Ancient Gamer as they are still currently headed through TR, but to finish that up, our assumption based on how well it was routed in, and it almost, we thought for a while, was going to be what swung it in AG's favor, was the play down directly to Swamp, and then the play working back up through the western part of Dark World to pick up that hook shot at the Hammer Peg game.
Oh yeah, I think I last location that hook shot quite literally.
Yes, you did.
I've been joking around with people in my group saying, if you want a free chance to win on me, just put something under hammer pegs. I probably won't check.
Well, it was definitely a while before you checked it, and yeah, the hammer at the first chest of Swamp, which you seemed to suss out really quickly. Were you suspicious that you hadn't found it by the time you went to Dark World?
That was just me keeping my routing clean. I figured there's a chance something that could be there. I might as well check it while I'm in the area, because otherwise it might be a while before I come back.
That's fair. But yeah, we are assuming that first chest to hookshot at hammer pegs were AG's picks. Obviously, we can't confirm that. And then the staff decided to be a bit nice for your due diligence and put the silver arrows at Catfish.
Which I almost failed to collect.
Yeah. Did you just think it was 10 arrows the first time you saw it? And you're like, that's not worth my time, and then went, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I thought I saw 10 arrows, and I just pressed Y, and then it hit me. And if anyone was out there wondering why I used bombos after opening the first chest in Paradox Cave, you'll want to maybe go back and watch the VOD of my match from last night.
Yeah, so for those who didn't get to see that match, for the longest time, SAGTG had put off checking Paradox Cave, and his go mode was getting bombos inside of Paradox Cave. So I'm assuming it was one of those exact chests. So very, very nice touch.
And then, of course, right next to that was the boots. And you're like, okay, that's actually useful. As AG takes down Trinex, Buttersword making that very easy. Combat in this seed was pretty much handed to you on the silver platter. Have you noticed that most of these seeds have had easier than normal combat, harder than normal combat?
I would say for the most part it felt easier. Even when playing an Animizer seed, I just saw some of the nicest enemy sets and patterns I've ever seen in an Animizer. So I don't know what the deal with that has been, but... And actually, I kind of like when it gets a little tough, so I felt a little disappointed by that. But, yeah, we'll see how that goes as the tournament progresses.
So taking a quick look here at the group stage, I believe this moves you, GTG, up to 2-1. So how do you feel? We've got 3 matches played. I believe you have 3 more now, since we only play 6. How do you feel going in 2-1? You know, basically right before the break, if we want to call it that, before hitting halfway.
2-1 is a pretty great place to be at. I definitely wish I had things go just a little better in that first game. Because if I was sitting at 3-0 right now, I'd feel really confident. But I still feel pretty good about my chances here. I'm just going to keep trying to come up with creative ideas and hope not to have any more unfortunate incidents like the hammer pegs tonight, which that did not cost me the race, but it could have under certain circumstances.
Oh yeah, you definitely got help that the hook shot in and of itself did not lead to anything, which we were a little bit scared of because the when Ancient Gamers went and cleared Swamp Palace and got the Vicky off Argus, he went back and double checked the big chest, and that was ether inside the Swamp Palace big chest. And luckily for you, that was not required for either of the medallion dungeons.
Yeah, that's not too bad. And when I tried to hover Hookshot Cave, it's funny, but when I found the ice rod, I felt relieved, kind of like, well, I'm glad I didn't stay and keep trying at that. I figured, well, I'm failing at this for now, so maybe I'll just give up on it and it'll work out.
Yeah, well, you at least got that nice swag hover over the Ganon pit for the chat to see.
Had to redeem myself a little bit after not getting it in Hookshot Cave, so I'm glad I was able to pull that off.
I'd say you managed at redeeming yourself.
Oh, by the way, when I killed Moldorm 2 and I almost dashed off into the pit, I wasn't showboating. My thumb just slipped and I hit down.
Oh, I didn't even notice that part, actually.
Yeah, I had a little scare there.
Yeah, good thing you didn't fall there, otherwise we'd have to fight Moldorm yet again for a second time.
Granted, with Buttersword, that's more a trivial nuisance than much else, as Ancient Gamer's heading to the randomizer room. He will pick up his big key here. Speaking of which, tell us about your decision to take the routing that you did through the bottom part of Ganon's Tower. It was a very strange left, right, left pathing. What was your logic for that?
There was so much weird stuff going on in the seed already that I didn't have a strong impression for if I'd seen all the planted items. So I thought, is GT Big Key going to be among those? And so I decided to just kind of hedge my bets a little.
Yeah, mixing it up. Sometimes, you know, that as people call it, the dark magician routing pays off. Sometimes it doesn't, but yeah, this time it didn't. But luckily, it didn't cost you, for your sake, not too much time.
Yeah, I think I probably would have done it that way anyway tonight. The only thing maybe I might have done differently is check Tile Room, and I don't really feel like that was a huge time loss. I will say, I'm sorry. I just wanted to cap that off with, if this was not a Plando race, I would not have made that play the way I did. But the thought that it could have been planted there, I wanted to be a little...
That makes sense. One random curiosity. Do you not know the glitch with the cape in rooms like Tile Room, where if you're holding on the wall with the cape active, you won't drain your magic?
Oh, I do know that glitch. I mostly use it if I'm fighting like Swordless Ganon with really low health or something. I don't use it in Tile Room because it's pretty much a boring auto-scroller anyway, so I might as well have something to do, so I just run around.
Makes sense, I guess. Anyway, Ancient Gamers continuing through the gauntlet, making pretty good work through all this. He's been playing this seed pretty well. He just got a little bit unlucky with going and picking up that fire rod out of Ice Palace.
Oh, and I'm seeing he got half magic. I never did find that.
I think
actually
maybe in Bookshot Cave. No, it was further in Swamp Palace.
Yeah. The fact that he checked a lot of, or basically full cleared swamp, really, you know, there wasn't really obviously a whole lot there. Half magic was one of those things, though.
And AG taking the ferry before Landmo 2 does put them a bit off pattern, but he's got that fire rod to make fairly quick work of them.
All right, so down goes Landmo 2, and we are off to the two most satisfying rooms inside of Ganon's Tower when you have Canis and Maria.
I mean, getting that first room is 100% free. Anyone can do that. I can do that. That should be a testament to how free it is. The second one takes some skill, and very nicely done by AG to pull that off. Taking a fall to get to that first torch a little bit quicker. Has to be a little bit worried to get this last one in time. Don't despawn everything. Thank you.
Yeah, taking a little extra pause there just to make sure to not walk up on that exact frame. That would be very bad. We'd have to mirror out and basically start this over, at least the climb.
Yeah, it is a huge waste of time. It's just a huge mood killer as well. So glad for AG's sake he didn't have that happen.
Now, that was something I've never seen before. He was dashing down and somehow clipped that corner and bonked to the right. That was, that's new to me.
That was a very interesting clip. He caught the left edge of that first moving trap. And
Yeah, it's basically
through Moldorm to get through it once the worm gets into a cooperative position.
And down goes that Moldworm too. But yeah, that clip, stuff like that does happen. It's a testament to how well programmed Link to the Past is.
Now, you say well programmed, but we also have all of these glitches and tricks and weird things that we're still finding new things with this game. Like Myrod was discovered, not even a year ago?
Yeah, the spooky glitch was found out, I believe, during the spring tournament for the Link to the Past rando.
And that looked like a triple on the first series from Ancient Gamers. Unfortunately, getting a really bad spawns to follow that up, unfortunately. So should just need one more hit here before he gets to the big pig. And Aga still being a troll.
Yeah, these Aga patterns today in this particular seed just were not favorable for either runner. But down goes Aga 2. There's that sixth and final hit. So now with Butter Sword and Silver Arrows equipped, we're going to go hopefully make some very quick work of the Big Pig for AG.
It's 9:30 on the East Coast. I could go for some bacon.
Yeah, when you've been, going through Hyrule for about 2.5 hours, it's always time for bacon.
And I've been informed that this quote comes from Kafka of Final Fantasy. Is that 4, 6? Yeah, that's 6. So thank you, JTN, in the Discord for that culture lesson.
All right, and we're through phase 1 and 2 just like that. Buttersword does make this so quick. Getting a fire bat to spawn here. Gonna have to make sure it doesn't come around for a fourth pass. Looks like it is not.
And pulling out the lamp makes me think Ancient Gamer will be trying for the torch glitch instead of that triple that GTG pulled off. Just one more hit to get into that torch glitch phase. Ooh,
missing.
And really close to the edge. That was very dangerous on AG's side. He's going to
very nicely done there. Unintentional silverless hit there from AG.
I mean, they happen.
It's always impressive when they do.
He's trying to get these doubles, but he's just barely out of sync for them. So he's just going to need one more to finish off the pig.
Oh, no! Oh! Ooh, you hate to see that happen.
You hate to see it happen.
As
play that close to the edge, sometimes you just get burned.
And as you said earlier when we were talking about that, it wasn't over yet when GTG was headed to GT. You know, Ganon falls happen. Unfortunately, it's sometimes the best runners take a death or a fall from him. It just sometimes it can't be avoided.
That said, he does have 3 blue potions and a green potion, so death is not any concern whatsoever for AG. He just has to grind this out. Come on, man. You got this. And launching all kinds of frustration on Ganon in that second phase. Cannot blame him at all.
Oh, it looks like we are still hanging around in phase 2, but making use of that first potion.
Really? I'm surprised that... Oh, he must have only gotten 5 hits in that first phase, so he had to... So none of those hits counted, so he's got to go to a second phase. Phase into phase 3 now. And let's see if AG can hit the torch glitch this time. Well, he's not setting himself up for it, though. Like, you have to be really quick on the trigger in order to hit that first torch before the second goes out, because there's not a lot. Oh!
Oh, you hate to see that, because Ganon spawned right on top of him.
I think a picture says 1,000 words, and I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, well, as they say, third try is the charm. Let's see if we can have AG knock this out now.
Yes, please. I'm not sure what images he would pull out if he had a third fall. I don't think. I'm pretty sure we would have to send this over to TRGC 0 for that one. Yeah, Master, I'll bring up a good point. This is probably a good deal of tilt at this stage. I mean, yeah. I can't blame him.
Yeah, win or lose, when you fall to Ganon multiple times or take a death to him multiple times, it does weigh on your mind a lot, and it's definitely something that can happen.
And the Big Pig Ultimate, it happens.
Oh, and he's gonna take some damage. Luckily, we got Red Mill. That's not the 2 hearts.
And he still has a blue potion after this. Keep in mind. So, still not really in a good position to set up this torch glitch.
Oh no, he's getting hit. He's gonna... Oh, thank God he didn't fall. Wow. Oh, man.
He got knocked in not the wrong direction. Yeah,
hey, we got another silverless hit there.
Yeah. But gotta be a little careful with these torches. He's got them really badly out of sequence. So, trying to set up these doubles. Just barely getting the wrong angles for them.
All right. Oh, no, there's 2. There's 2 silverless hits just swiping. Incredible.
So you should need only, I think, 1 more silver hit to get through this. Maybe 2. I think he only needs 1.
All right.
There we go.
Down goes the big pig for AG. So get your GGs in chat for Ancient Gamer.
was rough, but we do have a dot done at around 2:36:18. Let's call it. Definitely not the time AG wanted, but the time he will take, and we're gonna see if we can't get him in here for a quick chat as well.
All right, and while we are waiting, just another reminder that we do have a race coming on at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's about 18 minutes or so from now. It is going to be on twitch.tv/the Game Racing Channel 0. And let's see if I can find who that's going to be between. And it does look like that is going to be between Bacon and Evil Sparky 1, coming from Group D of the Plando Tournament.
And with that, we do have Ancient Gamers here in the call. I know it's not going to be much condolence, but good job finishing that out, man.
Oh my God, man. I haven't had a Ganon that bad since I first started playing these things. It's all right when you lose. It's all right when you make some mistakes. But when you do that, I haven't fallen in I don't know how long. I guess I just keep having these senior moments more often. Did he play flute on Laser Bridge? Is that what he did?
No,
Actually,
that was audience. That was Wesker who made that pick for you.
You better be glad this isn't the NSFW channel, Wesker. My buddy. All right, well.
So we have to ask, because we don't know, we have a very good idea of what your picks were. So me and we're both comms here, we both think that it was probably obviously the hammer in Swamp Palace and then the hook shot at Hammer Pegs, but
yes,
we'd like to confirm it with
that was exactly it.
It was a beautiful play, because and we still have SAGTG here with us, but for the longest time it ended up where GTG actually pretty much last locationed the hook shot from that.
Really?
I don't like hammer pegs. I don't like checking hammer pegs.
And the brilliancy of it, AG, is normally when you're going to be doing those loops around south of Kakariko Village, you're going to get the dwarf blacksmith, you're going to take the lunchbox, you're going to circle around in that area of Swamp Palace to Hype Cave. If you do go into Swamp and find that hammer, your instinct is not going to backtrack your way and hit hammer pegs up earlier. So unfortunately, GTG was very quick to pull that hammer out of the swamp, but still was a brilliant play. And
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But the thing is, when I saw the glove on the island, I realized that we were going to have to do AGA to get the Dark World access for me to get there and to get the hammer. Because the only way, if we didn't have mitts, and I knew we weren't going to have hammer, the only way that I was going to get the Dark World portal to get in there and get hammer was to go AGA.
Right, so you knew AGA was required fairly early.
Yeah.
Did you also put together that pedestal was Moon Pearl before?
When you see all three of the first one's pendants, and I got to be honest with you, my first choice for hammer was pedestal, and it came back conflict. So I switched where I put the hammer, and there was no conflict. So that pretty much told me right there that he put something on pedestal. And then when I saw
very interesting, actually.
When I saw all three of the pendants, I'm like, he probably put Moon Pearl on pedestal. So there it was. If it wasn't, it'd be something else. But that's why I went and got the Moon Pearl before I went to AGA. I wasted some time doing some peripheral checks I shouldn't have done. I should have just stuck with the dungeons, but that Ganon, there's just no excusing that. I was having trouble with movement. You notice I failed the hammer jump a couple of times. I don't know why that is. I usually get it pretty easy. I had a tough time tonight. But I had fun.
Oh yeah, as also GTG's second item placement was a fire rod on Cold Stare.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I had started to go ahead and do Ice Palace, but at the time I didn't have boots or hook shot. Which one was it? I think it was hook shot or boots.
Right,
and
we're in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, I didn't want to do those stupid bomb jumps, so I waited on that. I don't know if that cost me or what, but still, I was betting there might be something. What I was trying to do was cut off the East Death Mountain access to where I knew where it was. And I guess I jumped in Turtle Rock too early the first time. I just wanted to see if there was something in that first chest.
Oh,
You know?
I don't think that early Turtle Rock dive was a mistake. It's just the way everything ended up with you needed the flute on Laser Bridge to get the ice rod out of Mystery Mire, and that ice rod was completely randomized, actually. No one forced that.
Yeah, so to reveal the staff or like the comms tracker and restreamer pick, together we decided to give you guys silver arrows on the catfish.
Well, thank you. I did go get that. Which it wouldn't have been a problem with the swords just fell right out there. So, you know, when you've got butter sword, silverless Ganon isn't that big of a deal. I guess it would have been for me tonight, but usually it's not that big of a deal.
Well, congratulations to both of you for completing the seed. The seed was absolutely crazy. It was
great
really
to watch.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch and commentate. I mean, I had a blast doing it, but so AG, do you have any games scheduled like going forward for the group stage already that you'd like to tell Chad or anybody else about?
Not yet. I believe I'm going to be racing Shireen here pretty quick, and I'll go ahead and schedule. I've had a tight schedule with work, and I'm involved in some local politics. I've had a lot of meetings this week, so this is the first race I've been able to schedule, but I'll go ahead and get those scheduled up.
Sahasrarla for governor.
I'm sorry?
Sahasrarla for governor? Is that your campaign?
Sahasra? No. No. Unfortunately, it's zoning issues, and that'd be boring enough to put everybody to sleep, so I don't want to get into all that right now.
I think that might be our cue.
Yeah. Thank y'all for doing the commentary, and thank you for tracking and all that. Thank you for the follows, the guys that followed me.
Our staff would like you to roll the credits just so they can see your item rate at the very end.
Oh,
but
no.
very good game for both you guys.
I cut off my game. I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
It's fine. I'm sure we can do a manual recount if it's that big of an issue, but still very well played. Do either of you two have anything you'd like to add for the rest of the
No, that's pretty much it, except these are a lot of fun. I'm hoping I get better. It's taking a little while to get used to this is only the fourth one of these I've ever done.
So used to having those portals and you get to go back to Super Metroid.
Yeah, it's a little bit different doing this. But I actually like this better, to be honest with you. In any case, y'all have a good night.
So that is probably going to do it. I would like to thank both of our runners, Ancient Gamers and SAGTG. I would like to thank MathGirl718 for helping us with the restream. I would like to thank Davin, aka True Pixel Gamer, for helping us with the tracking. And I would like to thank Dante, my co-commentator. Definitely a pleasure. I hope we get a chance to do this again.
Oh yeah, I look forward to it. It was a blast watching this and calling this with you tonight. But yeah, guys, like I said a little while ago, we do have another match coming up in just about 10 minutes on the Game Racing Channel 0, and that is part of this tournament as well. So if you enjoyed watching this, I encourage you to go over to that channel, give this channel a follow, give that channel a follow as well. And last but not least, also, we put it in chat not too long ago, but don't forget to give these two runners a follow as well. So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to wrap it up here and say good night, and we'll see you guys next time.